Looks like the last map was Rivers, so that should be our first game. And then whoever loses, as I always say, if Oz loses the first game, it should end up as Mega Random for the second game. If Steven loses the first game, if Arduous loses the first game, it should end up as Black Forest for the second game. Ladies and gentlemen, Twitch, YouTube, what have you, viewers, Wiggle the Wise, I see you in the chat there. Welcome. Arduous, Silly Seth, always, as always. Welcome to Rivers. We have our first A-League. Karen, why didn't you correct me?
Sorry, A-League, B-League.
There we go. Had to fix it. First A-League Age of Empires 2 match of the Winter Bash 3. That's going to be Arduous in the red, playing as the Celts on the southwest, kind of, and Ozzglaux in the blue, playing as the Franks in the northeast. We are on Rivers, as I said. Not a map you see too often, and this is actually pretty interesting. There's a single crossing here, and that's it. So one choke point in the middle of the map between the players. We'll see if they are able to capitalize on that. Kind of similar to Black Forest in that respect, I guess. A-League for Arduous. That's right. Oh boy. Wiggle, I gotta ask. I think you and the Alchemist were planning on playing last night, but I don't think I saw anything about that. So, if it didn't happen, any thoughts? Any thoughts on when it might happen? Looking forward to that match. Not gonna lie. So far in this game, indeed we did not play. Yeah, fair. I mean, that's fine, right? We got Oz chopping some stragglers. Going for that 6 on sheep, 3 on wood. I mean, that's a pretty close straggler tree, so I can't get mad about that. We have Arduous going for the 8 on food. 1 on wood. I assume he's queuing there, but we got a little bit of idle TC time going on right now because of the always a little bit of a stressful situation taking the boar. Does manage to pull it off though. Planning on playing tomorrow night. Okay. Good stuff. It is only one game for you guys, so don't worry about it taking too much of your time. I'll say that much. Try to make it a little bit easier to deal with for the B and C League. Looks like Oz gonna lose that villager to the boar. We'll pretend like we didn't see that. He says, "Shiot." Cam, do you have any thoughts on what that might mean if it wasn't?
Oh, I have a thought or two.
Oh man, I love it. Gonna be able to take it now, looks like, but it's a little more of a scuffed situation. Unfortunate for him to see the loss. What he doesn't know is that Arduous has, in the 5 minutes of this game so far, 1 minute and 20 of idle TC time. So he's actually ahead in villager count, even with losing that villager. Not to like roast anybody, but that's just how things are going right now. Also, has stolen some sheep. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think Oz could have maybe gotten that boar a little closer to his TC, just in terms of travel time, but he does get it.
Looks like okay, he's just like rebalancing some of this. Okay.
Interesting. Starting off with a few farms right away too. So interesting.
I think
play there.
He has been very unlucky, and he does see the second boar. It might walk out of the fog of war sometimes like that, so he may not see it. But both of his sheep are down to the south, and he doesn't know that. So he's got to wait for the Arduous sheep that he stole to come back.
Yeah, so he's probably thinking that he's got to start elsewhere, start getting more resources from other locations. So that's unfortunate because now he's having to divert resources that could go into other things, but you know, that's just part of the game.
That's just how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why you always do circles until you see all of your like 2 boars and 2 goats and 2 goats again. But I guess also it's hard to know sometimes if you haven't like prepared for all the maps. Like maybe this map doesn't have them. You know, they can happen. Like Mega Random that Tom Bombadil and I played, we only had 1 boar on that. So Arduous also a little bit less than optimal with this boar position, but hey, well, you know what are you gonna do? This is a league after all. We're a
You
little
take
more
me again.
chill in here. We're just all about having a little more fun, and less about sweating through the back of our chair.
Trying to climb the ranks to the top.
I'm interested about. I guess not interested is not really quite the right word, but I'm curious about why there are 2 half-taken goats under the TC.
Oh no,
Maybe
no,
it's
no.
possible Oz doesn't know that
Oh
food
no.
decays in this game. Also, this boar is still decaying down. So ideally, you want to take one animal at a time, right? But hey, again, we'll see if it has any effect on the game. Now, rivers, you wouldn't think it, but actually a lot of fish in here. Dang. Could be a strong dock spot somewhere like here for these
No
players.
kidding. There's a lot of deep fish on those rivers right there. So
Yeah. Arduous actually stealing back some of Oz's goats now. Incredible.
taking back what is his.
And he's going for the palisade walls. Okay. First player to identify that choke point and decide to wall it off. Actually, he doesn't necessarily know, unless he's aware that the map always generates like that, which I'm not sure if it does or not. He doesn't know that there's not another choke point there, but he actually hasn't seen his enemy's base at all. Interesting.
But again, probably a good idea on I can't talk on
Artemis,
Argus Vapes to get that section walled off. That's cutting off one point of entry. It's also making sure that Oz doesn't come over and surprise him with anything. And Argus does have a
Arduous takes out the forward wallville with the scout and is going to stonewall on his enemy's side. Now that's definitely even a stronger play than being only on his own side. There's a little more flexibility and heads up play to have the scout there in order to take that out.
Yep.
Oz losing that vill at the start might feel a little bit bad about how this game is going so far, but he's actually not in too bad of a position, all things considered. The score is only 100 points off. Villager count is actually favorable for him. Did lose the scout there.
And right now, Argus is in a pretty good position right now. He's just taking his time.
Which I love to see.
Yep,
Some
definitely.
really good plays here from Red. I am interested. I'm curious to see the farm transition here from our red player. Celts do gather wood more quickly than other civs, so that will help in that respect. But these berries are not going to last much longer, and he's got 8 villagers here that are going to need a job afterwards. So I guess there are 2 more goats though.
Yeah, and he also does have a few fishing ships, so those are going to help with the food intake as well. But yeah, you're definitely right. If he doesn't get enough wood quickly, he's going to be running out of food quicker than he thinks.
It's also possible that he knows through the scouting or through the scout pathing that there's no way through here. Like if you send your scout down here and then you right click here and it goes north, then you know there's definitely no way through here, right? Going for a tower on this choke point as well. So definitely locating the points of interest on the map. Very important area there. Oz going for that barracks and a couple of eco upgrades. I love to see horse collar. I love to see double bit axe this early. Good plays. And the resource count is actually looking a lot better for Oz at the moment.
Despite the setback with the villager at the beginning, he is getting his footing back. He is trying to build back up. It is a little slow going, but he's getting there. And really good play by Argus. I just noticed that he doesn't just have the gate, he also has the watchtower there as well for some extra bit of defense.
That's right. My dumb butt thinking there's 2 river entrances, only one on tiny map. Hey, I wouldn't know that either. I think I would have tried to confirm it though, because it's always possible.
Yeah.
Before last year, I didn't even know that Black Forest only had 1 gap on the tiny map. Reminder, we are playing on extreme AI difficulty. The only difference that makes is that the wolves, lions, tigers, what have you, will be kind of insane with their damage, and also they have a much wider radius of vision. It also actually helps with the boar, because it has a wider vision, but it doesn't do more damage. So I think that's what we figured out. It's easier to lure them. A couple idols sitting under the TC here. This happens to me too. It's hard to spot those guys down there. The lions climb walls. Oh, I guess we'll have to wait and see that in action. Gate is locked for extra security. Incredible. What do you think this scout? Let's see what he does with this scout. Fish are now on that deep water, which does gather faster than the shore fish, so good stuff there. And Arduous taking a little bit of stone, a little bit of gold, a lot of wood. Let's see, it looks like Oz is trying to go up to the next age. He's getting supplies, which could mean infantry, or it could just mean I like to research supply. No, he also has man-at-arms queued, and then he's making spearmen. So I think that's jumping the gun a little bit, personally. If I were to give unsolicited advice, which I do a lot on these streams for the Winter Bash. Call me out on it if it's too much. You gotta see what your enemy's doing. I guess it's hard to do with this situation, but
yeah, I mean,
making spears into Celts is not really. I guess at that point, if you don't have the ability to scout, you have to look at the Civ that they're playing and try to figure out, even just if you're looking at the tech tree, in order to find out what they're likely to do. And Celts are not likely to make anything that spearmen are good against, other than their own spearmen. So,
I mean, I might also argue that him rushing some of these units out is not necessarily a bad idea, because again, it's just he doesn't. You mentioned that it's not good idea for him to make these units because he doesn't know what Arches has. But I think that's a good idea to make some units just in case something does come to attack him. So I'd say that maybe you're right that it's rushed, but it's better to have something than nothing at all.
I like what I'm seeing here from Arduous. He sees the spears and he's going for that archery range. Also love the docks here. I guess the other thing I would say about that, without beating it to death, is Oz had the resources to go Castle Age, but he made spears and scouts instead. I think that a faster castle would have been really strong.
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know, but good play with the docks now.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Now that the spears are here, he is using them to get a little bit of vision and move around a little bit, so that's good. Also, nicely protected gold miners. Love to see it. Those guys aren't getting raided anytime soon. I think that's usually my response when I can't see what my enemy's doing, right? Just protect yourself at home with your buildings and spend as little as possible in the moment. Lots on wood for both players. Plenty on gold for Arduous. They're both at roughly equal resources as far as going to the next age goes. Oz is a little closer. And he's gonna just drop a lot of houses out here. That's an interesting play. I wonder, Oz is in the chat, I wonder if he can explain the reasoning behind that, because I would love to hear it. Going for some fishing ships now, that's incredible. Good stuff. And that will help rebalance the eco difference, which is right now 52 for Arduous, 34 for Oz. But the villager difference, not quite that bad. It's 13 fishing ships for 3. But with double docks, Oz might be able to catch up on that. And also, Arduous has been fishing for longer, so it'll become less efficient as time goes on, unless he redocks in a bunch of places.
Both players haven't gone up to the next age yet. You would think that after this amount of time that they would have at least started moving in that direction. So I'm definitely curious as to why they're playing at such a slower pace. It could just be that maybe they're trying to get their footing again.
Yeah, I guess for Oz, this is probably getting into his head a little bit, right? Like, what's gonna happen here? I don't know. I need to be prepared for anything. So he's gonna make units. Still gonna click up to castle first. Arduous is also using the market now to balance it out and get up to castle age as well in a minute. But I am a little surprised to see the feudal age archers coming out for him right now, because
And oh
too
my
much of a
word,
reason
oh
for
my
that.
word, Argus with a forward, little forward base there
The
to
forward
just
barracks.
being an annoyance. It's not really a bad idea.
Oz sees it with these patrolling spears, so they are proving useful in some way.
And Oz out
Transport
with
is
a
coming in.
transport ship, so he might be. I want to see what he's gonna do. Is he gonna transport villagers over to those resources, or is he going to try and maybe sneak a few units over to Argus' base?
I think Arduous just, if he was looking, just found out that Oz is fishing there as well.
He's not gonna see the transport ship though. Like
Triple transport, okay.
Where
This is
is
gonna
he?
be a big attack, I guess.
Are there any units in those ships?
There are no units out yet except for the 3 spears and 2 scouts, or I guess 4 spears for Oz. He has 15 fishing ships in queue though, and incredible stuff.
Dang, he's
That
ready
is
to
really his way back into this game, I think, is the fish boom. So
yeah, I mean
love
the
to
big
see
thing. Yeah, I definitely want to see. I really want to see units go into those ships for an attack. I want to see it.
I think that's the plan. He's probably waiting for Castle Age
Yeah.
in order to get whatever he wants here.
The other
The
big
Franks obviously do tend towards knights. So yeah, here come the knights out of the 2 stables.
Oh,
Arduous, by the way, let me pause again. We
Oh, wow.
missed
When
this.
when did that happen? When did that happen?
Let's
know he
figure
had-
this out. Let's
I know
figure this
he had
out.
made. I didn't. Why didn't
Wait
those-
a minute. Wait
What?
just a
When
minute.
did that happen? What?
Chat, we are terrible at this game.
Oh,
chat.
we forgot about the one unit that had made that front barracks. I don't think he
So
killed
no,
them.
this is before that. This is before
Oh.
the barracks. He snuck one in. Let's find out when.
When did that happen? Wait,
Okay.
wait. Oh, yep.
So
Yep.
it was
So
here.
wait,
This
scroll.
guy, right?
No, it was. I just
It
noticed.
was earlier. It was earlier.
What in the world?
We have a proxy base that the casters didn't even notice. We have full
Wow.
god vision, and wait. He sent this villager up there so early. She's just
Wow.
been standing there for hours.
Wow. He must have just forgot about it.
Well, he's waiting for the opportune time. Right?
That's true.
So now Oz doesn't know about any of that until he's been scouting this. He's been doing a great job patrolling, but unfortunate for him. Really good for Arduous.
Yeah, that-
couple walls now, and
Yeah,
there they go.
That's just gonna create havoc. I mean, it's gonna put Oz behind. It's gonna have to cause. It's gonna
Now-
cause him to divert resources elsewhere. And
The timing is not the worst for Oz. These are feudal age man arms with no upgrades. He has full feudal age upgrades as well on the knights. The knights will clean this up very easily.
yeah,
I'm going to assume there are spearmen in queue now. Yeah.
but
So
either
that's
way,
going to be an issue he needs to deal with next. But
yeah, but either way, really good play by Argus to just be an annoyance there.
I cannot believe.
No.
Oh my! How did I
Yeah.
not see this happen?
I cannot believe it.
Oh man, that does shift the narrative completely, right? Oz is going to go for a big landing. He might still, but he has to deal with this now. It's
My
the
big-
stone-walled barracks.
He's either going to castle drop. I'd like to see a castle drop, but it
It's
doesn't have any
villagers.
stone.
It's villagers. Yeah.
It doesn't have any stone.
Oz has none on stone, so unless he
Yeah.
buys it, this is just gonna be for military production
Yeah, but
buildings on the
he's
side.
also slow.
Trust me, I didn't see it either. Yeah. So we're gonna have the reverse proxy right now.
The only problem is he doesn't have any gold or stone to really buy anything he needs for the castle or.
He has
Building.
wood, so he's gonna make buildings over there, and he's gonna clean this up. The spears are gonna start becoming a problem now, but they are still only spearmen. Arduous is not upgrading them to pikemen,
Yeah,
so
he's
these knights will
fine
still be
now.
fine for now. Oz not having enough gold to make more knights is kind of an issue, though. Probably needs to
Yeah.
redirect some eco.
To get
But
his villagers
He's
working.
moving so many villagers. He's moving so many villagers over. This is.
I like this. I like this.
13 villas moved across there, going for some siege workshops now for
He is
rams. I
putting
think he's
a
dealing
lot-
well with this so far. Has right
Yeah,
clicked the
no kidding.
wall,
He
so the
does- he
spears
does-
are getting free hits. That's really unfortunate.
I think he's gonna divert a few units over there, though. I think he might be okay. I was gonna say he could get Argus could get a defensive tower up there just to make
One
sure
thing
that.
I think Arduous is doing really well this game is controlling the narrative.
And a forward
This aside.
castle.
He's got the second town center down, and he's been taking up stone to afford a castle on his enemy side. This castle only denies the choke point. It doesn't do anything about like resources. I guess it's not really easy to get to anything you would want to deny with the castle drop here. So it's in a pretty good spot, all things considered. But that's going to be another thing for Oz to deal with. Did this villager... Wait a minute. Chat. Where did that villager go, chat?
I think, did he get it? I think he killed it.
There it is. She wasn't there. That's worrying. Wait, what? Okay, okay, I know what happened here. One spear, yeah. One spear comes out the gate, one knight goes in, kills the villain. So that proxy has been put to rest. It can only ever be one barracks. I think Arduous might be giving up on it in favor of a more heads-up.
And that's not a bad idea, but just because you may
attack.
as well, right? If it's not going to do any good, you may as well just leave it be.
We got 21 fishing ships for Oz, 18 for Arduous. No military ships out for either player yet. A couple fires would be devastating
Yeah,
here.
no kidding. Like, just any kind of
ship. I mean, Oz has really pulled things back here. Fish are going to start running out, so it's possible these players will just opt for shore fish for now. Might have to move into fish traps later if they're able to micromanage that. Second castle drop for Arduous in the same spot, by the way. And he has Woad Raiders coming out too. Arduous is a huge fan of the Celts. His main civ, I would say, at this point. We got Pikeman spam, we got Woad Raiders, we got those Mangonels coming in for some big glory shots. On the other side, Oz is down here. He's snuck across. Has some bills in that transport. Going for a little bit of a safe eco on his opponent's side. But this upfront push, gonna be hard to deny with just cavalry. Oz is gonna need another unit type. And I don't think he can push this area for quite some time. He can pretty much just try to do some damage control.
Yeah, Arduous right now is just cooking. He's in a really good spot.
Knights all go down for now. A lot of pikemen out. They are now upgraded to pikes with the attack. No armor yet though. These knights have more upgrades, but and he has actually dropped a lot of staples on us. Where is the queue now? I think he's trying to decide what to do. Click some more knights. Okay. As the Franks, I guess your play into this. I mean, your archer tech tree doesn't really go well super late, but right now some archers would be a good idea. I think even cav archers, but I don't know.
Yeah, right now
you could eventually end up with throwing axemen into this composition would be fairly good too.
But yeah, see, Arduous right now is doing a very good job of just pushing his advantage. He's setting up these massive forward bases right now. But you know,
he's doing a good job building forward production buildings.
Yeah, he's cooking right now. He's feeling really confident. He's just pushing his advantage. But Oz with the bottom right side, the bottom right TC, which could theoretically, if he plays it right, get him back into the game and cause problems for Arduous in his own base. If he gets
score is still one good fight away from being anyone's game, right?
Yeah.
Kind of depends on how many spearmen there are here. There are 9. They are going to be able to clean up the knights, but under the TC is not where you want to be. All of these units are lightly armored except for a couple of longswords. The town bell will pull everybody away from everything they're doing, though. I think Oz is going to have... Oh, no. TC goes down. Yeah, it's enough. It's enough of an attack.
Now the big question is, what is Oz going to do with those units? Is he going to try to get them on those transport ships, or is he going to just divert elsewhere? And he's going to try to fight this out. He's going to...
Just with a heart.
Oh,
my heart back from Oz.
Oh, no. Oh, man. That was insane.
We've got some Siege Workshops coming up for Oz on his enemy side.
Here
but
we go.
That was 38 villager kills right there. So
Oz is doing very well in regards to gold. Like, he's got plenty of gold here, so he could definitely make a few units to help him out.
Probably Probably buy a castle here and place it here on this hill would be a way to stall the game out and try to come back.
Yeah, the big thing for him now is making sure he does not lose that bottom right, because that's the last bastion of Oz.
The last bastion of Oz. Decides to go for 1 siege workshop and 3 stables. Night rush with enough force into Arduous' base could be quite damaging. And Oz is scouting this. He sees everything now.
Is he gonna get that? Oh no! He misses. No,
So,
he
I'll pause here.
Oh no! He
Good
missed.
Big tip moment. Light cav, hard counter monks. 1 light cav, you could kill a monk very easily. I guess it depends on if you're paying attention to it. You have to right click it onto the monk.
Missed the monk.
But you basically can't convert a light cav unit with 1 monk. It will always kill it. Unless you're very unfortunate. And there it goes. Unfortunately for us.
Oh no!
Castle there would have been genius. I mean, I'm just trying to think, yeah. But it's, again, hard to know in unusual situations like that.
The only concern is that Argus might see those transport ships, so he might know that Oz snuck some units out.
His current line of sight right now doesn't show any transports, but I'm pretty sure he has seen at least one of them. Maybe he thinks it's just the scout that went across, but nice job. Actually, I want to say for Arduous too, very good heads-up play, dropping the relic and then converting that. That was really well played.
Yeah, but he has to get the relic again. See, we're gonna remember the relic.
Castle drop on enemy's TC starting spot.
Oh, 3 castles right now. Oh man.
And the score is not quite double, but it's getting close. So now it's kind of a situation where you're sort of, if you're in Red's shoes, just waiting for your opponent to resign, thinking, am I going to have to kill all of his buildings and units in order to end this game? But still no scouting on the south side of the island. I'm sure Arduous will begin to think about that. Silly Seth is back. Welcome back to Game 1, Arduous versus Ozzglaux. Best of 3 match.
He's just gonna...
Here come the knights. We have 14 fully upgraded Castle Age knights here.
Here we go. I want to see it. This is gonna do some work, hopefully.
Franks don't get bloodlines, but...
Oh, and Arduous does see it. He's going to try to get a wall up, but these knights are going to go in and engage all these villagers, and they should be able to clean this up. He's going to also engage the docks. That wall is not going to go up in time, so he's going to be able to get those knights through, and those knights are going to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, so far 11 eco killed for blue in this attack. Maybe a little less than that, but it's going to be a lot more. Arduous goes for an emergency castle drop with his entire farming economy.
Yeah, he should be able to get it up.
And he might not be able to get up. Depends on the micro from Oz. Arduous is sending in the sheep as well, the goats. They're going in, try to block, I guess. Could be an effective play.
Oh my word, it's going to happen. Is he going to get it? No, he's not going to get it up. Oh, he does not. Nope.
Nope. This castle doesn't go up. 59, maybe 60%.
Oh nope, he's gonna
stop there.
Missiles villages. Oh my
KD 4428.
Oh no!
Arduous deletes the castle. He deletes it.
Oh, that's the best thing he could have done, and it's some emergency barracks over there.
We have barracks coming up. We have the entire army coming home, and Arduous has only 300 stone in the bank after that costly doubt castle. See where he goes with these villas. I think he's doing something with those. Maybe just moving to a safer spot.
Yeah.
Oz is not making any more units. He's just microing what he has for now. And this TC is actually going to go down, I think, to like 7 knights. Incredible. We have an unexpected base trade here.
That being said, the knights, those Argus units are coming in, so they should be able to deal with at least those knights. But really
Oz is going to have to do what damage he can right now and then run if he has any hope of persevering in this game. Arduous is like saving his entire economy back here. The eco is actually flipped back to Ozzglaux's favor.
Really a big thing is if Oz can get those knights away and find those villagers, that's going to be devastating.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of run out of ideas on what to do with these knights.
A little grr in the chat from Arduous, not feeling too happy about what just happened. And more knights coming out, some extra houses as well to make sure he's not going to get pop capped, as well as just the defensive structure.
I'm a little curious about the scout cavalry since there is 1,400 gold in the bank. I would have loved to see a market dropped here and maybe buy some food. But
honestly,
I love what I'm seeing right now.
I wouldn't mind another dock as well. Actually, does he still have that dock up on the other side?
He does. Arduous made a couple of galleys, and they pretty much cleaned up the entire fishing economy, though. Like, there are 5 fishing ships now for blue.
But that's a really good...
4 of them are sitting right here. Okay. See if Arduous notices this gap, or if it even is really relevant. But I like Oz running his units around the back, just giving him the old run around, so he can't, you know, move forward. Has to deal with these knights before anything else happens.
Another big thing is that wait, is there a hole in that wall over?
There is. There's a. Okay, he filled it in. He filled it in.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Arduous with the double question mark. Oh boy.
Yikes.
Now, unless there's another hole, I don't believe so. These knights are not going to be able to get through and do any more damage unless the gate opens.
If you've learned anything from our time in AoE 2, there's always a hole somewhere.
There's always a hole somewhere. Fortunately for the players, I guess there's a hill here, but the map is pretty flat.
Wait,
so.
what? Wait, what?
What was that?
Wait,
there is a hole. Wait, no, that's a gate. It's a second
Okay.
gate. There's 2 gates in this wall.
Okay, I'm gonna... This is insane.
I'm just replacing the starting TC.
Well, what have we got to lose?
And villager count 45 for Oz, 27 for Arduous, 19 very inefficient fishing ships. We can actually see worker efficiency here, and that's kind of an easy way to tell these guys are not doing very well right now. 36% versus 47%.
The only other big thing I'd say is that I mean, Oz set up a siege workshop, but he hasn't done anything with it. Like getting out a few mangonels or even ram, that'd be very helpful in the situation. It could have done a lot more damage if he had sent those in as well, but I mean, he's
now Oz gonna have to decide on next steps, right? And that can be a hard thing for a lot of players to do.
I mean,
does switch to archers. I love this. Good combo now. Also, I gotta say, good, happy. I don't know. Happy times in the stream. Good. Wow, I'm losing my.
Thank you for the follow, Gary Gambles. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to have you here.
It's gonna be a really good engagement for Oz here. He's gonna be able to take out all these units here. So very good. Yeah. So it looked like Arduous had enough. I thought Arduous had enough there.
I think
maybe
the reinforcements will be enough. Arduous might switch into purely spearmen now.
Oh my word! Oh.
These World Raiders are doing work, but it is gonna turn into basically a draw.
Yeah, no kidding. It's unfortunately.
Oz says, "Ah, man."
Oh, and Oz does win the fight, but he loses almost everything. So that really
both lose everything. I think.
Yeah, on the
I think you got to be pretty happy here. The score is, I think, a little deceiving right now. Basically, it's the fish is giving him the score lead there.
Yeah.
The game is still very close. Kind of depends on what they decide to do next. This wall being finished is really solid.
Yeah, it's gonna prevent Oz from coming back in and sneaking some more units in for an attack.
We're at the 53-minute mark, and both players are still in Castle Age, by the way.
Yeah, again, I think Oz did a really good hit early on, but now that Arduous has time to figure out where he was, be able to respond, get his units back up, get his resources built up again, so he's...
Love the archers. Love the crossbows. Good play from our blue player.
This has been a very intense game.
Arduous also mixing in those pikemen again. They are... chat. Are Celt pikemen faster? I think they are, right? 1.15 movement speed?
And Arduous is going up to the next age now, so he's going to be able to access a lot more tech for his units. That's going to help him out in the long run.
They are 1.15 versus 1.0. Unless they get
And
a
that
speed boost, maybe
Pikeman
research
has
the speed
still
boost.
been patrolling that lone shoreline. Oh no. No.
Arduous says, I'm a Castle Age gamer. If it ain't won by Castle, I don't want it. Well, here we are. You're going imp now. This pikeman has been here since the beginning of the game. One of the first 3 that Oz made, I think. Here comes the Siege Workshop for Red, his other favorite building in the game. I love having these guys in the chat. It really spices things up. And we have a bit of a mass coming in from both players. I want to know if Oz saw the archers from Arduous. He is making a lot of skirmishers. I guess skirmishers are good against infantry these days. They have more of a bonus against spearmen than they used to, so that was like very recently updated. It's a lot of skirms. Not gonna be too good against the Woad Raiders. Unfortunate matchup there, but we shall see. Cheap scouts. Ah, yes, the Franks. You get cheaper knights too, though, right? Oh, you mean the spears? The spears at the beginning. Yeah. That makes sense, I guess. You didn't commit too hard into making army there, which I guess is kind of what I was referring to. Like if you make a whole army and then don't attack. Okay, Arduous with a sneaky little side position, gonna be able to kill 3 vills. Eco KD now is 46-37, so fairly even.
We have a lone monk from Oz to try to divert, get some of those Woad Raiders, and a Mangonel from Argus here.
Yeah, that's gonna play so well into the skirms, and
Yeah,
I think the composition from Red is still gonna work out well.
Yeah.
Maybe if there were knights out for Oz.
Grabbing. Oh, he does not get the relic. Oz.
He's desperate for gold right now. He ran out of that gold pile here. There are military ships on the seas, so he can't go to the island or anything. I guess Oz somehow got another town center up in the back corner.
What?
He's mining this gold. So incredible sneaks going on this game. Franks get cheaper knights, but Aloysian 6 random units around the map provisions so towers are left best. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's looking actually pretty good for Oz right now.
Yeah, we really need the Mangonels to be in play, I think, for Argus to have any chance in these matchups.
Coming out on top of this exchange right here. I'd say that right now, but those Woad Raiders are doing work.
Yeah, the Woad Raiders are the saving grace here.
Oh my word!
Gets a real quick conversion on that Woad Raider. Maybe more archers, but it's hard to know. And still no more knights from the Frank player. Interesting. I guess he's worried about the spears, which is pretty much the only thing Argus is making anymore. I think you can micro them around to get value still. Still coming out pretty much a draw on these fights. Let's see if Arduous can put the nail in the coffin. Now he's in the Imperial Age, dropping that castle there.
2 Mangonels this time. Definitely gonna...
There are no units from Oz here that can kill that Mangonel, those Mangonels. So, unless he has... Oh no, the knight goes down too. He says GG, sees those mangoes. He's pretty much at the end of the rope, you know. I guess more vills here on the gold would have saved a little more time, would have made a little more time. But
really solid game overall. Like that was an exciting game to watch.
There's a lot of back and forth. I love these players here. Really good time. Brings me back to the double base trade on Arena that we had with Oz versus Wiggle the Wise last year. With Arduous versus Wiggle the Wise. Love the sneaks. Love all the interplay of all the counter units and everything at this A tier. It's a lot of fun. Now I gotta say, since they're watching, I'll mention it. Back to the draft really fast. Since Oz lost that game, this technically should be on Mega Random because that was his home map. But there were no disagreements brought up at all in the game, so I guess neither player cares. Or maybe Oz just picked Black Forest, that's also allowed. The loser can just choose the map,
Yeah.
but it defaults to their home map. So, technically not exactly the right map unless there were some other circumstances, but we'll let it slide. I guarantee it's still going to be a good time. Ozzglaux in the gray playing as the Teutons, this time on the east side, and Arduous in the red playing as the Goths. Probably his other top is if Arduous has top two civs, it's definitely Celts and Goths. So we'll see. He's not allowed to play the Celts again this set because he won with them. So moving on to the Goths there. Let's see how these players choose to strategize on Black Forest. There is a real narrow choke this game. What do you think is the most important couple aspects to think about at the beginning of a Black Forest game, Cam? I know you're a bit of an aficionado of the map.
I definitely think locating that choke point is a big deal. Because again, I think, I definitely have a Black Forest aficionado. I think it's a classic map, but I think having control of that choke point early on can really make or break a game. Because if I remember correctly, I played against I think I'm trying to remember Kyle last year.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever his I can't remember his username is. And I knew that I was thinking at some point I needed to take advantage of the choke point, try to get some at least a wall there. By the time I got there, he had already set up his defenses, and that really put him in control and allowed him to control the pace of the game.
Yeah.
So I think having control of that choke point, knowing where your opponent is as well as what they're doing, is super important.
Looks like Arduous looking up here to see if that's the choke. Oz has found the opponent's TC. Actually lost some scout AP to that red town center.
Yeah.
So he's going to be certain what's what. Another tournament moderator tut, I guess. I don't know. It's not really that important. You can play Black Forest on Explored if you want to. It's kind of the standard way to play Black Forest. It kind of evens things out with the whole one choke point being so important thing. Also, yeah, loser can just pick the map too. So if Oz just picked this, then that's also totally within standard regulations, I guess. I don't know. But let's see. Oz going for some sheep. Arduous going for some sheep. Looks like we might have some sheep stealing going on here. Some stolen sheep scouting, even. Oh, maybe he's just moving them back to the corner. Boar comes in for our red player. It's on 10 on food, maybe 9. Now moving over to that wood. And Oz is trying to build a wall, but Arduous has stationed his scout right there just in case.
Actually, yeah, really good play by Arduous there to cover that exit. But that being said, the villager might get the kill on the scout. It's going to be very close.
Scout actually goes down.
Looks
like
my word.
An unloomed villager will actually win against a Dark Age scout.
Yeah,
so really fortunate for Oz.
That being said,
if Arduous clicks it here now, looks like they're just gonna do a little just passing moment.
That's hilarious.
And I guess Arduous might not know there's always just one choke point on Black Forest in 1v1 too. It's like a guaranteed thing. Yeah, kind of weird that that's the way it is, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, both players I think seeing the advantage of closing off that choke point, but right now I'm not sure what Oz is doing right there.
Oz is trying to maybe do a little opportunistic extra walling.
Okay, this is interesting.
So Arduous can see that if he's looking for it. I don't know why you would be looking for it. Like, you think you're walled, right? So
yeah, this is such an interesting setup right now.
I love the scouting with these sheep, and also Gray has his scout here out on his enemy's side, so he's able to get a lot of vision of what's going on. This is definitely a less common dynamic, though. Both players are walled, but there's one villager past on either side. So
it's gonna be kind of tricky for either of them to do anything right now. This is really interesting.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we see either one of them try to sneak their villager into a back corner or something. We're just gonna be an outpost right now for Gray.
Not a bad play. It's gonna give him a little bit more vision, see what's going on. Argus ideally should see it, but we'll have to see.
One thing I would like to see more from Oz is a little bit more scouting of the home base before moving out, right? Because right now you're missing a boar. There have been some like missing like goats moments, but I guess it hasn't held them back too much. So Arduous gonna Vil rush down these palisade walls. Let's see if this villager survives the night, because I don't know if he will.
And Argus is gonna try to take this wall down right away. He does not want to be blocked in.
Oz actually deleted that wall, so
he might lose
he's gonna
the
have to
village
fall
as well.
back. This villager will die now, since he
Yeah.
can't get out. Criticism accepted. Oh man, I love the scouting of the enemy though. That's really good.
And Oz leading the villager along a merry chase, not wanting to lose that one guy.
He's making him live as long as possible.
Kidding, and it's
Arduous.
not.
you're too good.
It's definitely annoying, but it's not necessarily a bad idea because that one villager can be working, and he's not. Oh no, he's gonna lose. Oh no! Why did he repair
With his
it?
last few taps of the hammer, he repaired his last breath.
Oh
There's still actually no path through here for Arduous, but he can break that down fairly easily, I think. Same goes for Gray though. Like this is just a palisade wall at the end of the day. Arduous about to hit feudal age. Oz not close right now. Looks like he's had to move on to all berries. Now does see the boar, but it can be a little hard to balance all that, especially with all these shenanigans going on in the middle too. I love the confidence to pull all of the villagers there and just try to attack. I think that's something that players could do more. You worry you're losing like economy efficiency, but if you can kill a tower rush or a forward building before they make units or whatnot, it's a good play still. Alright Oz, good to have had you here. We'll look forward to seeing your return. I'm sure we will enjoy the show. I'm already enjoying the show. Oz clicked up to the feudal age now, and this outpost will go down eventually here. Still has the scout in his opponent's base though, so he can see Arduous is not going for any military buildings yet. No attack incoming. And has walled behind the red walls, so solid choke point control from both players. No unexpected rushes, no sneaks coming in. Also no farms from either. Both of these players just comfortable to just send all of their villagers to the berries when they run out of sheep. Now moving on to the deer for Gray as well. Actually a good spot for that mill. And the berries really fortunate there with the deer being right next to it. Gray almost lost his scout there again.
Kind of an interesting location for Argus to be setting up his houses and stuff over there, considering that, I mean, I can see...
I mentioned I'm pretty sure he thinks there's another way through here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but he's cutting himself off from a lot of resources. Like, again, there's a few boar over there, there's that relic, plenty of wood as well. I mean, he's got plenty of that stuff over there, but... Yeah. I think it goes back to the importance of scouting in the game because, again, you know what's around you, you know what you have at your disposal. I can see, like, if he wants to play a more, if he's playing a safer game, it's not a bad idea. I think.
I mean, if you ever realize there's no way through, you can just delete your houses there too.
Yeah, it's not, yeah. From a, I think.
From a safe like the biggest negative you're gonna have from this is is this villager gonna go down to a 1 HP scout?
Oh my lord.
Close one, but you saved it.
Oh no.
The only disadvantage you might have is not being able to use these buildings as walls in other areas, like here. But
Yeah.
Arduous is going to watch tower, probably Stonewall behind this too, I would imagine.
Yeah, and so he's really taking advantage of that forward wall he has right now at that choke point. That's really going to give him a lot of breathing room, going to give him time to build up, prepare. So he's in a really good spot right now.
So the Goths, I think we know, right, what their whole deal is. You remember what the Goths do, Cam?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Do they have? Is it the special unit that they have at their disposal?
They have the Huskarl as their unique unit that you make out of the castle, and they also have cheaper militia line units in general. Until recently, they didn't have any economic bonus, but now I think they take sheep faster or something. I don't remember. But the Goths are all about spamming those Huskarls and Man-at-Arms, what have you. But mostly the Huskarls, who have one of the highest pierce armors in the game, which means that they take very little damage from arrows in range, so they can dive castles and TCs all day. And they're just really easy to get a huge amount of them out once you hit Castle Age. They also have technologies like Perfusion and Anarchy, the latter of which, Anarchy, allows you to make Huskarls out of barracks as well. So you can spam them even harder. Perfusion, you make all, I think, in infantry units like 100% faster or something. It's crazy. So basically the Goths, what you're expecting a lot of the time is a fast castle into just huge amounts of infantry spam. Could be pretty strong on Black Forest, depending on what the enemy goes for. Teutons, on the other side, pretty solid defensive civ. They get murder holes for free when they reach Castle Age. Their towers can hold like 10 villagers instead of 5, I think it is. And their unique unit, the Teutonic Knight, would actually be very strong if you can get enough of them into the Huskarls, into the Goths, because they're just a really, really strong infantry unit that you don't usually make. It's pretty situational because they're one of like the slowest units in the game. So they're very clunky, and you can't really use them against range or mobile cavalry because the enemy will just run away from them. But into infantry civ, Teutonic Knights could be where it's at. As a Goth player, you don't usually want to make archers because you don't have very many good upgrades for them. I guess you have fletching, you have all of the blacksmith upgrades, but you don't get, like, I don't know if you even get Arbalester as the Goths in the Imperial Age, so we will see how this plays out. It might just be a full-on economy difference game, though. That could happen, and that the civs have very little bearing on that. Arduous with 2 towers is going to manually shoot down the palisade wall, though, so good luck there.
And Arduous right now setting up these forward barracks to probably press his advantage and send some units in to do some damage. So good play on his part.
He's gonna need a blacksmith, and then he'll probably click up the Castle Age, and start working on opening the floodgates of the Goths. We shall see. On the other side, Oz, I guess the units Oz will probably look to make, if he knows the Goths, which I'm assuming he does, at the A tier, he should know this is what the Goths do. They're pretty much infamous as a bit of a cheese spam civ. Knights are good, as long as, that will at least force the Goth player to make spearmen, right? But Knights will win against Huskarls and Man-at-Arms. And the Teutons get pretty good Knights as well. So we will see. I would love to see Teutonic Knights because they're so cool, but both players actually are on the way to Castle. Oz is going to hit it a full minute and a half before Arduous, though. And he is on stone, so if we see a castle drop here, I have a lot of hope for Oz in this game.
Depends. We're going to have to see what happens. It's up to him. He's got to make sure that he's making the right moves. And
looks like he's getting the infantry armor. Teutonic Man-at-Arms are not bad either. You just won't be able to make as many of them as your Goth player, your Goth enemy. Oz with the double TC drop, though. I don't love these positions for the town centers. Maybe here to protect the gold as well as the wood line.
Yeah.
Here as well for the same reason. You usually want to look for a mine or a food source and a wood line to put your town centers on. But it can be a little hard in the moment. There's also like a hill here, which kind of makes it hard to figure out where to put stuff. You might even be able to take the boars from this town center if you have the multitasking for that. But that's actually really good to see. Maybe this is like sneaky, like maybe he won't see the town center back there. Should allow us to have a pretty significant economic advantage. I can't imagine Arduous going for 3 town centers immediately on hitting castle. I don't think that's his MO. Also doesn't have the wood for any of that, so.
Yeah, but he does have these forward barracks set up. He hasn't done anything with them yet, so that's giving Oz time to get his sources back up and hopefully get ready for whatever's going to come his way.
Arduous gonna buy enough wood to get a town center on the wood line here. That's pretty good play. I like what I'm seeing. Still with the scouting sheep from Oz, incredible stuff. And Oz just gonna double check there are no like weird chop throughs or holes in the wood line. He's making a lot of man-at-arms though, and that kind of it makes me curious. I wonder why he's decided to do that. Chat, if you're there, chat, do the Teutons get like a really killer man-at-arms bonus of some kind that I'm missing out on? Because I'd like to know.
The one thing I could say, if he's thinking about it, would be to create a siege workshop and mangonel through that tree line there to maybe snake his way around it for a sneak attack, but...
Oh, I mean, Arduous is setting up a whole suburb out here.
Okay.
You want to talk about suburban hell? Look no further.
He's probably, probably just, again, I mentioned it earlier that, you know, it may not be the, like, maybe a waste of resources, but he's making sure that he's not going to get snuck up from behind, because again, it's going to take a long time for Oz. If Oz does cut through the trees, which I don't know if he will, it's going to take him a long time to actually get through all those buildings, and by the time he does, it's going to have probably a sizable force waiting for him. So really good preemptive defense on
Arduous is going to get the castle up here first. Going for only 2 town centers means he will have enough stone, or it'll be less strain on his stone gathering to go for that castle a little bit faster. I was almost there though in time. I think he should, well, it looks like he's planning on going for a castle here soon. Has enough stone for it, so we'll see what happens then. Moving the army around a little bit though. And only 2 vills on this castle means it's going to be a little more relaxed. And monastery for Arduous. Relics can be very important on Black Forest because the games can go super late, and that can end up being your only gold income. I think it's 2 relics for each player if Arduous deletes the suburbs to get to this one. Yeah, there's 1 for Oz, 2 for Oz, the other. Oh wait, oh, it's 3 relics for Arduous. He actually got the lucky gem on this. Incredible. 4th town center going up for Oz. He's not gonna... Is he gonna place this castle yet? Like, come on. Come on, let me see it.
Building up towards it and having it at that forward spot would be a really good idea. It's just... And Arduous...
More barracks for our red player.
So Arduous is just going to be building up, and when the time comes, he's just going to probably send him in.
Oz can actually see this barracks going up with his,
so he
his
should.
walls.
Yeah, if he's paying attention, he should know what's coming his way. So
I'm not sure why the towers didn't finish the job on this wall. I don't know why that changed the way it did. Maybe he's trying to widen the gap or something. But I love the eco approach from Gray. If you're not getting attacked immediately, definitely go for 4 TCs. Go for 5. As long as you're well enough defended that you won't instantly die when you get attacked.
yeah,
That's kind of why I'm calling for that castle right now. He's just moving his army around. I think he might have patrolled them here. It's interesting.
another TC going up. Like he's 4 TCs. Holy smokes!
Oh yeah, that's That's definitely solid. So it's 4 TCs to 2. Let's see if Oz can keep them queued and keep enough food coming in to produce from them. He will end up with like an undefeatable economic advantage.
Yeah.
As long as the flood doesn't begin. The first Huskarls are already out.
Oh boy.
I think I heard perfusion. Yeah, I heard perfusion coming in. I think I heard anarchy coming in. So they're coming out of these barracks. We're prepping for the attack. Oz gonna find out the hard way that there's a castle here. And now what, right? 950 stone in the bank for our great player. What is he gonna do with it, right?
Yeah, so the question is he has to do something. Like, he's got all these resources, he has all these TCs up, he has to do something with them.
Here they come.
Hello. Good. And they're moving in.
Now,
working their
the
way.
upgrades are even.
Oh.
So it really comes down to
quantity
here.
We have the men-at-arms. Are those still the men-at-arms? Or those?
These are still just long swordsmen. So it looks like the Huskarls are going to clean that up.
Yeah, not even a problem. Like they're just going to cut through them like butter. It's going to be And
now, hopefully that wakes Oz up a little bit, and let's see what he decides to do now that he's got this army roving around. Because the economy here is really good. Like, I guess the production is slowed. Like, he's idling all of these TCs right now.
I don't know how I feel about those barracks or those buildings back up there are safe, but they're so far away that by the time he does get them where they need to be, it might be too late. So I'd like to see, since he has the resources, I'd like to see some more forward positioning on some of those other buildings, or start making some more.
There's the castle. There it is. Okay.
Oh, well, that's going to hopefully help him out here. It's going to give him some breathing room.
Gray's going to lose all of his farming eco, though, to these Huskarls. They're going in, cleaning up.
Yeah.
You can still pull back. You can still come back from this. You
Yeah.
just need to keep producing bills in all these TCs.
Yeah, he has all
like
these.
He's looking up here in the north like a lot, I think. This is where Oz's micro is mostly going. Plus this castle, which might actually get denied with the reinforcement stream coming in from red.
Carl's there. He doesn't have enough villagers on it. He's going to have a few long swordsmen come out to try to deal with them. I don't think it's going to go up in time. I think the Carl's going to take out the villagers. It's going to be close. Nope.
Think
no. Oh.
It's too late now.
No. Oh,
I would say drop all these vills onto the foundation to build it, but at this point, without army, there's no chance that goes up.
So oh no!
We don't know what that was. It wasn't Ram Ranch, but Oz decides to call it there after that one. So GG from Arduous, using the Goths to their strengths, able to get the flood rolling over the lands of the enemy.
Oh man!
Oz had a lot of potential there. Like the economy here had a lot of potential. You got to work on the select all town centers hotkey and just hit Q like 300 times a minute and make vills. Get that castle up a little earlier. That's my take.
Yeah,
I think you're right. A lot more solid.
He had so many resources at his disposal. The problem was he wasn't doing anything with them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're just sitting here. We're just like, we got the bird's eye view. We can zoom out on the whole map and whatnot. He's probably in the trenches, like clicking all these buildings. Not zoomed in. I'm just exaggerating that. Yeah. He's got to do a lot. He's taking the boars now. He's mining all these. Yeah. But either way, I think that maybe could have been a little bit more
proactive with
with that. Arduous though, really well played.
Yeah.
Dropping all these barracks. Just textbook Goth Black Forest spam. I think there.
He did a good job. He did a good job of taking control of the choke point early on, making sure that it was under his control. That allowed him to dictate the pace of the game. So good play by him.
Yeah. Well, that's that whole set. So Arduous was the challenger there, which means he walks away with 2 points, putting him, I think, at the top or joint top of A League. And for now, at least, securing his spot in the top 8 final bracket. What was that economy collected? 25k for the Goth player there. Interesting. I guess he pulled ahead on villagers at the end, despite just having 2 TCs. So. All right.